Hi everyone, Fox is here, and you can probably tell by my slightly nasal voice that I'm sick again. Yeah, I know it's been happening quite a lot lately, and I'm not very happy about it. However, let me tell you this, I have not been around not just because I was sick, but also because I've been having a bit of technical difficulties filming. Right now, I'm filming on my day off, so it's middle of the day and there is enough light, but unfortunately, when I come home after work, it's too dark for me to film. And sometimes over the weekend, I just don't have time, or I'm sick, which, like I said, has been happening quite a lot lately. So that's why I missed a couple of days in November, and even uploading that one video, which probably people think is super easy to make, the one with me, like a time lapse coloring. And believe me, that is really hard to film when you're filming with your iPad with no extra light in the evening, plus trying to stay away from camera and at the same trying to color for 2.5 hours with no real break. Yeah, I don't get enough credit for those time-lapse videos, let me be honest, but I just wanted to say that right now I am at 162 followers, which is still mind-boggling, and I I don't know why people even follow me, even though I'm not very consistent with uploading content recently. But I'm very happy, very happy that you do. Another thing that I wanted to say is that I'm making some changes to my channel in the sense that I'm upgrading my equipment, and it will take some time for me first to get a new camera, and then I also already purchased a handy light, which is very helpful right now and kind of eliminates the shadow, which is quite present usually on this side. But I just wanted to say that I probably will not be able to keep up with 2 videos a week schedule in December, just because of the holidays, and also December is my birthday month. So I'm trying, and I hope to do at least one video a week in December. Hopefully more, but I cannot really promise anything. I know that my schedule is every Wednesday and Sunday, but as of right now, I just considering how much I've been sick lately, plus all the technical difficulties that I had, including just exporting a video from my iPad, was a bit of a struggle a week ago. So yeah, I need to fix that. Plus I'm getting a new camera, like I mentioned before, but it hasn't arrived yet, and I need to learn how to use it. I know it sounds silly, but that's the truth. Anyway, that's my very short introduction update wherever is happening in my life. So let's get on into books. Those of you who noticed my thumbnail for this video are probably wondering why I have so few books to show you. This is basically all I have, and as you know, I usually do my book hauls like with a crazy amount of books. And the reason for that being, first of all, because I was pretty good this month. In November, I didn't purchase too many books, and I was holding off for Black Fridays. You know, Book Outlet had big sale on Black Friday, and this was what I was waiting for. That's why I just held off till Black Friday and did a lot of purchases there, but they have not arrived yet. And because of that, I'm just showing you everything that I have right now. Whatever comes later on, I'll be showing you in my December book haul. But without further ado, let's just get on with the books. I've been talking too much, I know, I'm sorry. And the first book that I want to show you is the biggest one, and I just want to be done with it because it's so heavy. And this is Jamie Oliver's Christmas Cookbook. If you don't know, I'm a huge fan of Jamie Oliver, and I do have a couple of his cookbooks. I believe I have 2, and I also have a couple of magazines as well. This is his latest release with Christmas, obviously Christmas cooking. And I don't know if any of you cooks or loves to cook. I just love cooking, and even though I'm obviously not as good as Jamie, but I just love flipping through those books. It has pretty much everything you can think of, but one of the reasons why I purchased it because it has a whole section for edible gifts. So all the tips that you can think of about making perfect drinks, and also creative snacks and roasting meat. I know that I I'm not sure if I will be actually using this book for Christmas dinner cooking, but I will definitely be reading this one, and I'm looking forward to picking up some new recipes. So yeah, I just love Jamie Oliver. I follow him on Instagram, and God, his pictures. Oh man, I'm just getting hungry thinking about his Instagram and this cookbook. Yeah, oh God, cannot wait. Then I got J.K. Rowling's Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, this screenplay. This is the original screenplay, and I obviously have seen the movie and I loved it, and I thought that we should have gotten something else at the end. I was just waiting for an extra scene or something else to connect this story to other movies, but there was nothing. I have not read this book yet, but I'm really looking forward to it, and it's so pretty. Like, if you can, oh my God, I'm sorry, but now you can probably see. Yeah, and it's just it's beautifully formatted, and the cover itself is also gorgeous. I love it. I cannot wait to read it. Even though I watched the movie, I actually got the book a day before I watched the movie, and I was thinking about flipping through it, but then I decided just to go and watch the movie and be completely surprised by everything which is happening there, and then read it later. So I'm looking forward to reading this one. Next, I have a copy of Fire and Stars by Audrey Caldhurst, and this is a YA fantasy standalone novel about a girl who's a princess and supposed to marry a prince, but she falls for his sister instead. Now that's a twist, and I saw this book recommended by Cece from Problems of a Book Nerd channel, and she just gushed over about this book, and I immediately decided to pick this one up. Unfortunately, I have not read it yet, but I am really, really itching to do so as soon as possible, because it just sounds like a very cute story, plus I like fantasy YA books, and there are so few standalones nowadays, so I'm excited about this one. Next, I have a copy of The Waves by Virginia Woolf, and I admit that this is another purchase that I made just based on Sophie Carlin's recommendations. I have not been so far successful with reading anything by Virginia Woolf. I did read something, but those things that I've read I did not particularly like. So I don't even know what to say about this one. This is a story about six friends and how their all lives intertwine. And it's also supposed to be very lyrical and very heavy on magical realism and metaphors and whatnots. I just looked at the blurb at the back, and it does feel really, really, really interesting, because it says here, and I'm not even sure how to read this one out loud just because I'm not sure where to make pauses. It says, I, who would wish to feel close over me the protective waves of the ordinary, catch with the tail of my eye some far horizon. This is such an odd sentence, and I don't really know what to make of it, except for it sounds very lyrical, and I like it. I have some hopes that it's fairly short and I will be able to read it. I'm not sure when though, but I really want to branch out and finally sink my teeth into some of Virginia Woolf's texts. I just, so far, have not been really successful with that. So yeah, just wish me luck with this one. The next book that I have to show you is has a quite interesting story attached to it. This is a collection of short stories called Thedrivin by Douglas Gardam, and this I just acquired this book by pure chance. I went to one of the Indigo bookstores and I saw a man promoting his book, so I stopped by to chat and I met the author. And he was promoting his other novel, The Actor, I believe it's called, and while talking to him, I realized that I would be more interested in reading this collection of short stories, which is about a guy who every day drives through the certain street and sees other houses and other lives, and I was getting a bit of like a girl on the train vibe for some reason. So I just thought it would be quite a cool thing to pick up a book by an indie author. This is what I did. It's pretty short, as you can tell. And Douglas was also very kind to sign this book for me. So I have a signed copy now, which is exciting. I'm not sure when I will get to it because, but it is so super short, so I might as well get to it sometime soon. But I cannot really tell you much about the author himself, except for he is from Toronto. He lives in Ontario, so that's a good thing. And I'm always up to supporting indie authors, so that's why I got this book. Next, I have a copy of The Secret Loves of Geek Girls, edited by Hope Nicholson and written by a whole bunch of different authors, including Margaret Atwood, Marjorie Liu, Mariko Tamaki, Margaret Bennett, and others. And this is the anthology, which means this is the collection of different short stories and graphics and comics and pretty much everything. It looks like a graphic novel, but it's not. It's just the collection, and it's all about gender, feminism, being a woman, having a period, having first time, pretty much everything. It's sex and it's a bit explicit at times. However, it's so much fun. I have not read the book itself, but I flipped through it, and I also went to the presentation, like the panel with authors, some authors, not all of them, and also the editor. The panel was organized as part of the A-series, A-list series by Public Library, and just my friend called me and she said, hey, do you want to go to this thing? And I said, yeah, of course. And then I went there and I fell absolutely in love with those ladies who were absolutely candid and talking openly about everything, about their experiences, about how they were writing those stories. As you can tell, I even had this book signed by some of them. So I'm really excited to read this book, especially since it's by Canadian authors. It's about being a woman, about everything, and this sounds like it's so much like a fun read. I honestly cannot wait to read this book. I thought I would start reading immediately after I got home, but I haven't because I just have other books on hand from the library. But this is my copy and I'm super excited to have it. It caught my eye at Indigo some time ago, and I was so excited when it's all different comic styles. It's so different, it's so diverse, and it's just I'm really excited to have it. And it's actually a very successful Kickstarter project. Hope talked a lot about how she started it as something like a fun project with friends, and it was so successful on Kickstarter that it was picked up by Dark Horse publisher, and that's pretty much how that's very much like that panel session looked like too. So it's just a lot of girl talk, a lot of fun, and I cannot wait to read this one. Also, that panel, I got a freebie, which is a Geekerella, a chapter sample from a novel. So yeah. And the last but not least is this book, and this is Lying in Wait by Liz Nugnet. Hoping I'm pronouncing that right. But this is a psychological thriller, and not something that I usually go for, because this book I actually got for free from Indigo because I went to their event today. I'm not really at liberty to say what it was about, but it was fun, and I got a free book, which I'm very excited about. So I'm just going to read you a blurb because I'm not really familiar with this author or the book itself. The last people who expect to be meeting with a drug-addicted prostitute are a respected judge and his reclusive wife. And they certainly don't plan to kill her and bury her in their exquisite suburban garden. Yet Andrew and Lydia Fitzsimmons find themselves in this unfortunate situation. While Lydia does all she can to protect their innocent son Lawrence and their social standing, her husband begins to fall apart. But Lawrence is not as naive as Lydia thinks, and his obsession with the dead girl's family may be the undoing of his own. So yeah, definitely not something that I would go for on a regular basis, but since I got to meet amazing people at Indigo headquarters, and I was so freaking hyped about the fact that I was there, and I got this free book and some other freebies, and I was like, yeah, I will read this one. And apparently this is by Canadian author, which is great. And this is from a #1 best-selling author of the 2014 IBA Crime Novel of the Year. So I'm not much into contemporary crime novels, and I'm not so much into psychological thrillers, But this sounds fun. The book actually is not that big. It's less than 300 pages and the font is quite big. So I'm looking forward to reading this one. It might be a bit of just a different thing to read. Why not? Thank you so much, Indigo. I really appreciate any free book, to be honest. Well, this is it, guys. This is all of my November book haul plus my live update and whatnot. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing and commenting and everything. It really means a lot to me. I know I'm quite behind on the schedule, and I promised a lot of things, and I hope that my autumn would be slightly different, but unfortunately so far it has not been a very good reading season. I'm looking forward to December and having high hopes in terms of reading. Not so sure about filming, like I said, but at least reading. So I hope to get my November wrap up on Sunday, because I read some books that I want to share with you. I have not read a lot, but there are just some that I wanted to share with you, definitely. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye! Well, if you cannot tell, that means that makeup works, and also over-counter drugs work, but this is not about drugs. So without further ado, let's just get started with them, and I cannot pronounce the word further. Oh, my nose is so itchy. Oh my god, I hate being sick. I really hate the fact that not only I sound horrible today, but I also cannot talk.